basic biological or psychological needs are linked with nature's plan to maintain the life of Homo sapiens. Thus, we can regard all human evolution as bipolar or two-pronged because what contributes to individual growth also contributes to the overall development of human life. Human evolution simultaneously progresses on two levels, individual development and collective development. The beauty of life is that if we are true to ourselves, then the pursuit of personal objectives will contribute to the accomplishment of social aims and ends. There seems an intriguing law at work in the collective human organism that appropriates the fruits of its individual elements for the development and growth of the life of the whole. Simply put, the fruits of actions resulting from the biological need to avoid death, disease, and misery benefit ultimately the whole of humanity. Beyond this come the purposes that rise above the basic individual stimuli. The things around us don't of themselves divulge their significance to us. We must endeavor to discover all that for ourselves. It's only when we discover the secret that lies locked in the bosom of things that we can attempt to define our purpose. And nature is our teacher in this process. All hope for self-improvement begins with our desire to discover the secret of things and the laws that govern them. The rational faculty that human is gifted with allows us to discover the mysteries of the universe, and we continue to unfold those. We must each commit intellectual effort to determine our real place in the scheme of things and transform the world taking into account our ideals. The task is not unrelated to human's nature or external to our work for a living, but it's an essential part of life itself. Look, living meaningfully entails interpreting your environment, including the physical circumstances and communal and historical surroundings in which you find yourself. With the application of your rational abilities to the issues presented by your environment, you can gradually discover your right relationship with the external world and shape your convictions about who you yourself are in the midst of the things that surround you. It's by articulating these convictions that you can hope to feel at home and impress a personal pattern on the change that's taken place in the world around you. So it's important to understand that whatever you may be, the ecology that you live in is for you like a shell is for a snail. It's a blended fiber of many filaments, as your entire heritage, including your race, culture, and history, represents a tiny happening in the array of human evolution. Right? As that sage Shakespeare explained, the world is a stage in which we have to display our talent while playing our part without any say in the beginning or the end of the play. The understanding of one's part is the real challenge of life to us. British academic William McNeill Dixon explains this well in The Human Situation that he wrote probably in 1937. So he says that the most astonishing thing about the human being is not so much their intellect and bodily structure, profoundly mysterious as they are. The astonishing and least comprehensible thing about them is their range of vision, their gaze into the infinite distance, their lonely passion for ideas and ideals far removed from their material surroundings and animal activities. The inner truth is that every human is themselves a creator by birth and nature, an artist, an architect, and fashioner of worlds. So it's this capacity for being the architect and fashioner of worlds that I feel is our primary task in the world. Look, on the whole, our ability for what we may make of ourselves depends more on our own effort than on anything else. It's essential to keep in mind the truth of two-pronged evolution. Remember, if you're following the urge of your conscious drive to earn your living, you're also participating in the preservation of mankind. If you think deeply, you will realize that all truthful, productive, and decent individual life has a rewarding influence on the lives of all of our fellow humans. Shakespeare has Polonius perhaps unwittingly stated beautifully, to thy own self be true, and then it would follow, as night follows the day, thou canst not be false to anyone else. So, there's no clash of interest between one's motivation for one's growth and society's desire for higher purposes to prevail. And when we see a clash, the answer most likely lies in questioning our own motives. Otherwise, our individual and collective lives have the same focal point. By playing our part well, we each add to the quality of the society of which we are a part. Even in commercial world, the businesses that thrive in the long run are those which best ensure this two-pronged growth to genuinely reward their owners, employees, customers, and the society. To me, a large part of the recent misery of financial meltdown that happened in the previous decade or 2008-9 was wrought by an organizational philosophy that allowed a few so-called star performers to tower above their organization's collective code and interest. In most instances, the same individuals or businesses which were considered far superior to the organization in general and were thus disproportionately paid brought their organizations down. Similarly, the societies that allow individuals to become more important than the society's collective representation in law systems and institutions don't thrive for long. Look around the countries, you'll find that. The absence of a symbiotic two-pronged evolution hurts every organization, every organism. The best way for individuals to serve the total life is to relentlessly pursue our own individual development to bring out that which is best in us. Therefore, the value of securing our life's development can be overrated. Totalitarian economic systems like communism, based on the idea that individuals aren't an end in themselves but a means for fusion in the universal benevolence of the state or another assemblage of people like party or whatever, are bound to fail. All forms of regimentation and of standardized human existence are bound to eventually shipwreck against the individual dignity and value of human. We are artists, we are reformers, we are cure finders, we are lawgivers, we are inventors, all individuals. We continually strive to invigorate and modernize society to ensure the smooth unfolding and healthy progress of its processes, laws, and institutions. Human society is always in flux. That is its essence, change. Is well served by a healthy balance of old order and change that helps it move forward in response to the challenges posed by changing conditions, new inventions, progresses, developments. And this can only be achieved if we are capable of rationally examining the various possibilities open to us. Nothing is so decisive for growth as the development of a critical faculty in human which infuses the spirit of free inquiry. In the age we live in, nothing attends to the fullness of life except the forces of rational thought. They alone equip us to judge the relative value of things and to do the right thing under a given circumstance. The world today is ruled by thought. The development of scientific and intellectual thought over the last 3 centuries is practically a story of the victory of pure intellect over primal ways of dealing with the problems posed by our environment. The progress of human knowledge in its contribution to life is now increasingly faster because of the abundance of refined intellect as an instrument of discovery, and innovation because we are able to free it from the pressure of immediate existential needs. And this unburdened surplus of intellect, powered by rational thought, has carried the constructive enterprise of modern civilization to heights that would have been unimaginable a few centuries ago, maybe even a few decades ago. As you enjoy this age of inquiry and discovery, you must endeavor to liberate your brain from the burden of customs, rituals, biases, and intolerance in order to enable yourself to face life without prejudice of fixed ideas, and then make sure that your individual growth contributes to the collective growth of your community, city, or nation. Remember, we are in it together, always. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the real truth of life. Thank you.